Welcome back to another review. I thought I'd have a look at the Lenovo HW01 fitness band or tracker. This is right at the budget end of the market, so I wanted to see whether this was any good, and Gearbest have sent this in for a review. Operation this, you just have a single touch button which is flush with the display, and you can just cycle through with quick presses, and then to make a selection use a long press. So it's very simple to operate. After a few seconds, the display will auto dim. You can also power it off. So the construction on this feels pretty good. You've got the sensor on the back. Just above that is the micro USB port for charging. There's no magnetic charging on this particular one. I'll see how that holds up. It feels reasonably secure. You can see the green heart rate monitor there when you put it on your wrist. Now looking at the strap, it's actually quite decent. Silicone on this, very thick, and there's a lot of adjustments on there, so you shouldn't have any problems with fitting different size wrists. Obviously they've gone for a traditional watch design with a metal clasp as well. The buckle is metal, so that shouldn't prove to cause any problems. I haven't had any issues. I've been using this for about a couple of weeks. When you raise it up, the display will auto come on, but you can turn that off. The only other items you get are the micro USB cable for charging and a basic user guide. This just lists out some of the functions on the tracker. A couple of decent features with this. You have some extra features which I'll show you very shortly, such as music control and remote camera. You also get a display for calls and call reminders. Now this is the QR code. We just scan that onto the phone, Android, install that, and this is the Lenovo app that we're going to install, Lenovo Healthy. Now this has got pretty mixed reviews, I have to be honest. I find it okay. They've obviously done quite a few updates. You can put your personal details into it. Connect up the Bluetooth, and once it's connected, paired with the watch, then it will be able to update the time and date. You can also run through and have a look through some of the specs here for the heart rate, for example. That will fill up over time. One point to note with this is you do need to have it reasonably tight, not super tight, but if it's not tight enough, the heart rate monitor readings will be off. You also get an overview of the distance traveled. So obviously I haven't done anything at the minute, so we'll do some tests with that just by using it, and then I'll come back with some results. So obviously I'm not really got time to do sort of sports and fitness things, but I'll just be using it normally and see how it goes. That's the remote camera shutter. You can also go into the settings and adjust some of them, such as a find a phone feature. You can also find the wristband as well, and that just shows you the caller ID coming up. Onto this part now, which is the find a phone section. You see, if you have the ringer off, obviously it will vibrate, but if not, it will start to ring. Pretty handy, and you have the music control as well. Again, it's quick presses to cycle through the options and a long press to select what you want. That feature alone I'd find pretty handy, even if you're not heavily into the fitness side of things. Just want to use the remote control would be quite useful. Don't like the fact that the ads come up sometimes when you open up the app. You can also change from metric to imperial as well. The display itself is actually pretty good. It's quite easy to see in normal lighting and in dim lighting, though I did have a few issues outside. I'll talk about that a bit later on. Just doing a heart reading now, 67 beats per minute. It's pretty accurate as long as you have it, the wrist strap on tight enough, and it's also waterproof. I showered with this as well, no problems at all. So I've been using it for a few days just to give you feedback on what I've found. So it brings up the graph, gives you some information on your distance travelled, potential calories burnt. Also monitors your sleep patterns as well. You'll be able to run through and look at your progress over a period of time. And again, with the heart rate monitor, it will also average out your heart rate from different periods of time, so you can keep an eye on that. I found that to be reasonably okay, but sometimes the readings could be a bit high. But once you readjust the band, if you take it on and off, sometimes you'll find that it's okay. There's no integration with any other app, so the Google Fit, it doesn't work with that, unfortunately. This is just charging it up. Now you get the display, which will turn off after a few seconds. Outside, it's a bit mixed with the display. Honestly, it does fade out a bit. It's okay here, but in bright sunlight, it does tend to be quite hard to see. So overall, it's actually not bad for the money. It's pretty cheap, and I quite like it for what it is. It's got some useful functions, and the battery life is also very good. What it doesn't have is the App could be a bit easier to use. It could be much more user friendly as well. So hopefully Lenovo will go back into that, take a look at that, and perhaps improve the app over time. But for a starter fitness tracker, this one's actually not bad at all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon.